Today I am going to discuss third lecture of antiviral drugs. This one is last lecture for the antiviral drugs. Right? In previous lecture, we have discussed about the different viral infections, uh, different constitution and properties of the virus, its replication, then classification of antiviral drugs, and we have discussed two important class of antiviral drugs. They are purine nucleosides and nucleotides, as well as pyrimidine nucleosides and nucleotides. Right? In today's lecture, I am going to discuss remaining classes of antiviral drugs. They are thiocyanate adamantine amines, interferons, and miscellaneous agents. So, start with thiocyanate. Example is methicillin. Structure of methicillin is given here in the side box. It is a thiocyanate, right? It was the first thiocyanate discovered. Methicillin was first thiocyanate discovered. Right? It is effective against a variety of pox virus and some adenovirus. See mechanism of action for methicillin. It is known that methicillin has ability to chelate with various ions including copper, zinc, nickel, ferrous and manganese. Right? So there are several enzymes, they are metal enzymes and they are necessary for the replication or synthesis of viral nucleic acid as well as protein synthesis. Right? So methicillin can bind with this type of metal ions which are present in the enzymes, metal enzymes, right, and inhibit the metalloenzyme. Right? By binding with metal ions, they are block the action of metalloenzymes and ultimately inhibit the synthesis of viral nucleic acid as well as protein. Right? It may also react directly or specifically with viral nucleic acid. Uses: methicillin is used as prophylactic agent against smallpox and for prevention and treatment of vaccinia or vaccinal encephalitis. Right? Now, what is vaccinia? Vaccinia is a large viruses comes under the pox viruses, right? And infection due to this type of virus in brain is known as vaccinal encephalitis, and it causes the inflammation of brain. Right? So, in this type of infection, methicillin is used for the treatment. Next one is adamantine amines. Right? Example are amantadine and rimantadine. First structure is of amantadine and the second structure is of rimantadine. Right? It has the adamantine ring. What is adamantine ring? This one is fused ring system in which one ring is 6 member and the second one is 7 member ring are fused with each other by 3 points. Right? They share the 3 common carbon atom, is known as the adamantane, right? And it has the amino group, that's why they are adamantane amines, right? In this, amantadine is one adamantane amine, same structure. First structure is of amantadine. It is a one amino adamantane or one adamantane amine, right? And second one is its methyl derivative, that is rimantadine, right? It is known that they are specifically inhibit replication of influenza A virus at low concentration, both amantadine and rimantadine. Amantadine has been used for years as a treatment for Parkinson's disease. Rimantadine is generally 4 to 10 times more active than amantadine. Right? It is a methyl derivative of amantadine. Then structure, activity or relationship for the adamantane amines. See, in both structure, amantadine and rimantadine, there is a amino group, right? Presence of amino group. So first, we see some modification related to the amino group and what will be the effect. If alkylation of amino group, single alkylation or double alkylation is carried out it will produce an unchelated or an dialkylated derivative of amantadine. Right? In these derivatives have the similar action to that of amantadine hydrochloride. Right? There is no increase or decrease in effect by the alkylation of amino group. Right? Next one is N-acetylation. Right? If N-acetylation of amino group is carried out, then compound becomes with less antiviral activity. Right? That means N-acetyl derivative have the reduced antiviral activity than the without acetylation. Right? Exception is there, that is glycine derivative. Right? Glycine is one type of acetyl group, and this glycine derivative will not reduce the antiviral activity. Next point related to modification in NH2 group is that replacement of amino group with hydroxyl group, thiol group, cyanide or halogen will lead to the inactive compound. Right? If NH2 group is removed and in place of amino group, if hydroxyl group or thiol group or cyanide group or halogen group is substituted, then resulting compound is inactive. Right? Now, optical isomers and racemic mixture of rimantadine are equally active. Thus, the structure of rimantadine, right here, chiral center is produced. Right? This carbon is chiral center. Right? That's why, because of presence of chiral center, it produces the optical isomers. Right? And it's both optical isomer, both enantiomer, levo and dextro, as well as its racemic mixture all show the equal activity. Right? Now, uses of adamantinoids. They are effective against infection caused by influenza A virus, including H3N2, H5W1N1, and H1N1 subtypes. They are the subtypes of influenza A virus. Right? So this drug is effective against all this type of infection. In higher concentration, they are effective against influenza B, rubella, and other viruses also. Right? Next class is interferons. Interferons was discovered in 1957 by Isaac and Lindemann. These two scientists discovered the interferons. Right? When they infected cells with viruses during their experiment, right? They observed some interference with cellular effects of viral infection, right? After that, subsequently, interference was isolated and found to protect the cells from further infection. Right? So this is the discovery of interference. Now, structure of interferon. Interferon consists of small protein with molecular weight ranging from 6,000 to 20,000 daltons. Right? They are glycoproteins in nature that exhibit specific antiviral activity. Right? Human interferons are classified into three types: alpha, beta, and gamma. First one is interferon alpha. Right? There are at least 24 different genes producing 16 distinct mature interferon alpha molecules with slight structural variation. Right? This is not yet. There are different 24 genes that produces the different interferon alpha molecules, and about 60 distinct mature interferon alpha molecules are available, and they have the slight structural variation. Right? They are composed of either 165 or 166 amino acids, and they are produced by lymphocytes and macrophages. These are the WBC, white blood cells, right, and part of immune cells. Then interferon beta. Normally, they are produced by fibroblast, right? And it was first cloned and expressed in 1980, but due to its instability, it is unsuitable for clinical use. Right? Next, interferon gamma. It is a single chain glycoprotein with a molecular weight of approximately 15,500 daltons. Right? Its production is restricted to T lymphocytes, natural killer cells, that responding to the antigenic stimuli, right, and specific cytokines, right. So these are the different types of interferons alpha, beta, and gamma. Out of them, interferon beta is not clinically used because of its instability, right. Now, characteristic of the interferons. They are non-toxic substances to the host cell, right? They exhibit antiviral activity in extreme low concentration, right? For its antiviral use, it is used in extremely low concentration, right? They do not possess antigenic activity, right? They are not antigenic to the host cell. Now, induction and production in the cell, right? On viral attack, interferons appear very soon, right? Interferons appear very soon and sometimes within seconds after the viral attack, right? However, once released from the infected host cell, it induces the synthesis of translational inhibitory proteins in other non-infected cells, right? One, interferons have tendency to produce the translational inhibitory proteins that inhibit the viral replication, right? And when virus is infect the cell, interferon get released and synthesize the translational inhibitory protein, but it automatically also produces this type of protein in non-infected cells, right? Then virus differ in their ability to induce the synthesis and release of the interferon, right? The absorption of the virus in the cell induces the formation and release of interferons, right? This is a sort of immunization process. This whole is the sort of immunization process. What happens once the person infected with virus, it develops a resistance against other viral infection, right? One time person get infected with one virus, then it automatically develops the resistance against the other viral infection. This phenomena is known as the viral interference, right? So all over it imparts the immunity to the person. Now, mechanism of action of interference, right? It binds with specific cell surface receptor and inhibit the transcription and translation of messenger RNA into viral nucleic acid and protein, right? But how it inhibit this transcription and translation? By formation of the inhibitory proteins, right? As we discussed, a virus when infect the cell, it releases the interferons, and interferons bind with specific cells surface receptor, and there it produces the inhibitory proteins, and these inhibitory proteins inhibit the transcription and translation of messenger RNA into viral nucleic acid and viral protein, right? It also causes inhibition of synthesis of viral enzymes, for example, viral RNA polymerase and viral thymidine kinase. These enzymes are important or essential for the synthesis of viral nucleic acid and viral protein, right? So this interferon inhibit these enzymes, so ultimately lead to the inhibition of the synthesis of viral nucleic acid and viral protein. Okay. Now, interferon preparation and clinical application. Right? Interferons are not orally absorbed. Generally, they are given by IV infusion. Right? They contain more than one type, and this exhibit unique broad spectrum of antiviral activity in vitro. Right? This has a promising effect when used in combination with vidarabine, that is an antiviral drug. Right? Then interferon preparation are effective against infection caused by different type of virus. For example, varicella zoster, encephalomyelitis virus, vesicular stomatitis virus, that is VSV, rabies, vaccinia, influenza B, and cytomegalovirus. Next one is miscellaneous agents, right? Ureas and thioureas. Examples are ureas and thioureas. They exhibit good antiviral activity, right? They are not evaluated further due to immunosuppressive side effects, right? That's why they are not specific examples or derivatives are available, because in the trial of ureas and thioureas derivative, it shows the decrease the immunity of the patient, right? That's why they are not evaluated for the antiviral activity, right? Then guanides and biguanides, they have good antiviral activity, but due to its rapid urinary excretion, drug failed to achieve a clinical status. Gamma globulin and immunoglobulin, they are the antibody-rich fraction in the plasma which contain variety of antiviral antibodies. They prevent penetration of virus to the host cell. Right? Then antibiotics. There are some antibiotics which also show the antiviral activity with antibacterial activity. Right? They are rifamycin, bleomycin, bleotoxin, etc. But these antibiotics are used in higher concentration for antiviral activity. That's why they show high toxicity. Okay? So it is all about the antiviral drugs. Thank you.